For centuries, Muslims have been a crucial source of culture, philosophy, scholarship, and science. Around the world, we see a rising tide of anti-Muslim hate and bigotry, and that can come in many forms. Some are shamefully exploiting anti-Muslim hate and exclusionary policies for political gain. We must call this what it is: hate, plain and simple.
In this stirring address, UN Secretary-General António Guterres reminds the world of a truth too often overlooked. Without the contributions of Islam, the world as we know it today would be unimaginable. He pays tribute to the monumental legacy of Muslim scholars, Avicenna, Al-Khwarizmi, Averroes, and countless others, visionaries whose brilliance helped shape the very foundations of modern science, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for nearly 2 billion Muslims across the world, Islam is a pillar of faith and worship, uniting people in every corner of the globe. And let us remember that it is also a pillar of our shared history. For centuries, Muslims have been a crucial source of culture, philosophy, scholarship, and science. From the enormous influence of Avicenna, the great physician and philosopher, whose interpretations of Plato and Aristotle helped shape the development of Western European philosophy, to the Muslim mathematician and astronomer Al-Khwarizmi, responsible for delivering Indo-Arabic numerals and the father of algebra, to the father of rationalism, Averroes, whose groundbreaking commentaries bridged Islamic and Western thought, to the countless contributions of Muslims across every field, from science, technology, and medicine, to literature, art, music, and architecture.
As his address continues, Guterres shifts to a sobering truth. The very communities that helped shape our civilization now face a surge in Isl-a-moFobia, rooted in discrimination, distorted policies, and digitally amplified hate. He exposes the structural discrimination, the exclusion, the profiling, and the barriers that countless Muslims face every day. And with unmistakable clarity, he calls on political leaders, governments, religious communities, digital platforms, and each of us to stand against this rising tide of hatred. Listen.
Excellencies, today's event shines a light on a vicious plague that represents a complete denial and ignorance of Islam and Muslims and their undeniable contributions. The plague of Isl-a-moFobia. Around the world, we see a rising tide of anti-Muslim hate and bigotry, and that can come in many forms: structural and systemic discrimination, socioeconomic exclusion, unequal immigration policies, unwarranted surveillance and profiling, restrictions in accessing citizenship, education, employment, and justice. These and other institutional barriers violate our shared commitment to human rights and dignity. Excellencies, we cannot stand on the sidelines while hatred and bigotry run wild. Today's event reminds us that we all have a responsibility to confront and root out the scourge of anti-Muslim bigotry. Political leaders must lead the way and foster social cohesion, not fear. Governments must condemn inflammatory discourse and safeguard religious freedom, in particular for minorities. And I'm grateful to religious leaders who are working together to promote interfaith dialogue. Digital platforms must moderate and prevent the spread of hateful content while protecting users from harassment. Artificial intelligence must reduce biases and stereotypes, not reproduce and amplify them. And all of us must do our part to dismantle the walls of intolerance and division. In cities, towns and villages, in schools, in the street and online, everywhere and anywhere. Let us all pledge to call out anti-Muslim bigotry, no matter where we see or hear it.
In fact, Guterres ends with a message the world cannot afford to ignore. Silence is not neutrality, it is complicity. He leaves us with both a warning and a hope. Isl-a-moFobia is rising, but it is not unstoppable. When people choose empathy over fear, truth over prejudice, and unity over division, we rewrite the future. Each voice matters, each action matters, and together we can create a world where every Muslim is free, safe, and respected. That is our challenge and our responsibility. Thank you for watching.